Hello everybody, so I am starting off the set by spraying my client's hands with hand sanitizer first and my own hands as well. I am pushing her cuticles back with my orange wood stick so we have more room to play with. This is a brand new set that we are doing, so I'm excited because I love doing new sets. And I start off by removing anything on the nail plate and including the natural nail shine with my sanding band, and I'm going at about 5,000 RPM. So you want to keep it slow so you don't burn the client's fingers and you just don't cause any discomfort. You also don't want to go too fast because it's just uncomfortable. I've gone fast on my own nails before and it's a scary feeling. So I start off with by the cuticles, and then I go down to the side walls to clean anything up. Remove the shine like I said, and give the nail a little bit of texture. And then I go in with my cuticle bit and in forward direction at about 6 to 7 RPMs, I believe. I'm going under let me see if I can explain this. I'm going under the cuticle skin, not pushing on the nail plate, but obviously the drill bit is touching the nail. But the pointy part of my bit is going under the cuticle to clean it out from under the cuticle skin as much as possible, as much as I can without hurting the client. And then also the sidewalls, I clean anything out of the sidewalls. And then when I'm done with doing that on all 10 fingers, in reverse mode, I do the exact same thing. I feel like it looks a lot more open. I think it cleans it out, cleans the cuticles out so much better. Like if I pull the skin back a little bit, where my thumb is, if I pull the skin back, I could just see how clean it is underneath her skin. So I love this method. And I noticed that every time if a client has tough skin that I feel like is not going to be able to be buffed off or buffed easily with my ball bit, I go ahead and I nip that first. And then I go back over with my ball bit at a very slow speed. I think about 4,000 to 5,000 RPMs. So I don't, again, cause any discomfort to my client. I don't make a new wound and hurt her. So going back over with the ball bit gives it a smooth look because the cuticle nippers can leave sharp edges or just clear edges because they're straight. There's a straight blade, so I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. And then I just clean up her nail length. I'm shortening them to be able to apply the nail tip better, the plastic tip. And you always want to round out the corners, just because I don't know. To me, it just looks cleaner, and I just heard it just leaves less room for problems in the end when it comes to the natural nail growing away from the plastic tip. So here I have already measured her. I wiped off the dust, and I've already measured her nail tips. So I'm just going ahead and applying those. And I put a little bit of glue in the well, and you put the tip from the free edge first, and then you just rock it onto the nail plate. And here I am pre-shaping her nail. I'm sorry that I'm out of focus. It's kind of hard to keep remembering. And she wanted to try my nail shape, which is the pointy almond. She's never done this shape ever, so I was really excited because I love this shape. I think it's so pretty. And now I'm going around with my hand file. It's a 180 grit. I am just cleaning up the shape, getting ready for her application now. And I want to note that you always want to do the shaping before you blend the center, because if you do the blending before, you're not going to have that strength in the center to be able to do the shape with confidence, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want the nail tip to just pop off because it's weak in the center. That's just what I've learned from experience, unfortunately. And so now with hard gel, I do hard gel. So with that, you have to take the shine off of everything, and that includes the plastic nail tip. So when I blend her plastic tip with my sanding band at 5,000 RPMs, by the way. I also go over the entirety of the nail. And right here, I'm dehydrating her nail, and I always dip my manicure brush in my acetone pumper bottle, and I just clean it and dehydrate at the same time. Like I said, with her thumbs, I decided to use polygel, so I decided to use forms because I just wasn't confident in gluing a tip on the tear that wasn't smooth. Now, you saw me apply 2 coats of the Young Nails Protein Bond, and now I am putting her base gel, which is a thin layer, and I cure it for 30 seconds. And you don't touch the skin, and I put it over the whole thing, and including the thumbs, because even though it's polygel is, hybrid of acrylic and hard gel, the extra adhesion definitely helps. And now we're getting into application. So with hard gel, I found it best, very helpful actually. I found it very helpful to apply a wet layer first. Do not cure it. And then grab your bead and just pull it, just drag it down, just do your thing. And gel itself levels very, very well. So usually with nails this long, I always have to go back after curing. I cure each nail between because I've realized with clear it's a lot more runny, but it's not unmanageable. Like if you just work quickly, you gotta know how to maneuver it. And so I cure each nail 30 seconds in between, so my product isn't going everywhere. That would be a horrible mess if I didn't cure in between each nail. My God. And also keep in mind, when I cure, let's say for instance I cure this middle finger here, I rotate hands. So that means I'm working on her other hand while this one is cooking, because just for time's sake, so you're not just sitting there, looking at each other waiting for the other one to finish. So back to what I was saying, with nails this long, after this first layer, I realized I noticed that the nails are always a little bit flat because hard gel self-levels very well. So I just go back usually, and I think I added it in this video. Let's hope. So I guess I'll just stop talking for now. Let's find out. But with the hard gel, you just go from side to side, and then towards the end, I drag a little bit down to the tip because you want your tips thin. And then as I see the hard gel going down, I always drag everything back up to the center and then up the side walls, because you want your strength in the center. And here I am applying. I'm fitting her form, and her form actually fit very well to her thumb. I didn't have to customize it at all. I do not make nails out of polygel, like full polygel, or at least the base layer of it. I've never done it before. I know how to work with polygel, but I've never done it before, so I know this is a lot of product. But I thin it out as best as I can on the tips, because obviously tips need to be thinner. And I'm maneuvering the polygel with isopropyl alcohol. And I'm just trying to, keeping in mind the length of the nails, and I'm also keeping in mind the shape. So what I loved about working with polygel, actually making the tip part, is it was a lot easier to make the shape with it instead of hard gel, because hard gel, like I said, it can be pretty runny, especially in a warm temperature room. And this just stayed in place up until I needed to cure it, which was awesome. So after I made that tip, I cured in the lamp for 60 seconds, as you can see, and I removed it. And then I'm checking the length. I'm matching the thumb length to each other, so I don't do too much, so they're even. And I just do the same thing. I maneuver it. I press it down, pat, just like acrylic. And I'm making sure the sidewalls match up. I drag the tips down, and I'm also dragging it. I'm trying to make it as smooth as I can on the surface of the nail as well. I'm keeping this base layer thin because I'm not making the entire nail out of the polygel. I'm just starting it out with the polygel because I don't know why. I've just heard that putting acrylic, or I guess an acrylic hybrid, on a just on a damaged nail, that's better. On a damaged nail, it's just better than doing it with hard gel. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's true. It's what I've heard, and so far she has no problems. So, and I guess I just didn't want to chance it because this is her first set with me. So I didn't want to chance her having any problems with me. And you saw me do the length check on the with the other thumb. And now this is what I'm talking about. So I put a little bit more on the center, just the center, and I'm dragging it very thinly down so that it evens out with the rest of the application. And notice that I'm only putting the product on the center because that's where it was flat. That's where, I need the apex. And then I just smooth it out on the sides, because if I make it thinner on the sides, that's easy to file off. It's going to transition very nice. And also, I'm not curing in between with this one because the product, it's just in the center. I didn't feel like it was going to run everywhere, and it never does. I don't know why. Probably because I don't put the wet layer. I just put the product right there, and it stays right there. And I just play with it like that. I don't think I recorded myself seeing the side profile of the nail, but I do. And so then after I did those, then I cured them in the lamp for 60 seconds. And I wiped for the polygel nails. I wiped off the tacky layer, and right here I'm going back with my sanding band, smoothing it out so I have a nice smooth surface, or nice smooth but textured surface, to apply my hard gel on. I'm regaining the shape of the nail, and with the sanding band, it's great for leaving texture for a hard gel, like I said. And with alcohol, I dip my manicure brush in some alcohol and to clean off the dust, and I'm reapplying a base layer, another base coat. No, I'm lying. Okay, that was the wet layer. Okay, so that was a wet layer that I did, and now I'm beginning to build her thumb. I always like working on thumbs. I'm not sure why. I just really like the way thumbs are always wider, so I just like playing with that space more. I don't know. And here you see me looking at the side profile, and I'm able to get the apex right on this one, probably because of the previous poly gel though. And then I wiped down all the nails, and with my ceramic bit, I'm going back and I'm just removing any hard gel that has flooded into the cuticles, and also doing a little bit of pre-filing so I don't have so much to file with my hand file. Because I noticed with this set, how I said earlier that with the warmer room, hard gel can flood cuticles if you're not quick enough. Well, sometimes also I noticed even if you are quick enough, the hard gel can flood the cuticles even right when the client puts their hand into the lamp. I don't know why. I don't know why that happens, but that's what happened. It's just it started flooding her cuticles literally from the half second that her finger was going from my hand to the lamp, and the lamp is like right there next to her. But it happens sometimes. You just have to not panic, and you know how to fix it. You just drill it off. That's it. Just don't panic, fix it, and then continue your work. And so that's what I'm doing here in the middle finger. You can see that's what I'm trying to focus on the sides. Is it flooded? And I know it can be hard to work with clear when it's on the cuticles because it's clear and you don't want to hit their skin. You just go about it very light in little heartbeats. And I always ask them, I said, make sure you, and so excuse me, tongue twisted. I always tell them, make sure, tell me if it gets a little hot. Okay, it flooded your cuticles. I'm going to be trying to get it off of there. And so I always explain to them what I'm doing if I need to, like if it involves, an area like possibly hitting skin, because I don't want to surprise them. But I never actually hit their skin, but it's always good to, keep them in the loop. So I'm regaining my shape now with my hand file, and I like to contour nails. I picked up this concept of contouring earlier this year, I think, and I really liked it. So I just regain the shape, sidewall, free edge, and then I tilt her finger and I just slash it like that with my file, like you saw. I just slash it, and I make it to where the center is being, obviously the apex is being kept at the center. So I'm just I'm trying to give the illusion of a thin nail by making the sidewalls thin. That's the goal. Like, it's for a sleeker look, because nobody likes chunky nails. So I'm just gonna be doing that for a minute. Let me see. I'm trying to think of what else I can say. Oh yeah, okay. So when I file too, sometimes I cover my client's skin with my thumb. I don't know if you're paying attention to my thumb. I cover her skin so that way when I'm filing close to her nail with my hand file, no matter the grit, I don't want to cut open her skin because we did her cuticles, they're fresh. So I protect her hand because I'd rather hit my thumb than her hand. So I'm doing a length check here, and as you can see, everything's pretty even. Well, everything's very even. And with my cross-cut diamond bit, I'm going back over, and this is a finish filer / buffer. So I'm just prepping it for I think I'm gonna be doing stars on the middle fingers, I think. So I'm just buffing it, smoothing it out, and also I'm getting used to, I focus a little bit more on the cuticles right there because I saw a little bit more product there. You just want everything to be even and pretty because, I don't know, that's just what you want in nails. It's just little things like that. You can't really let it go. And then now I had her rinse her hands, and now we are applying polish. This is the first coat, and she wanted to do a neon color, and this part's just polishing, so I'll just let you guys enjoy this part. So for the design, we're just going with 3 neon stars, and we had an inspo pick in hand, but my stars were not perfect, and I realized after this set, because I always critique myself after every set, what I could have done better, what I could have done faster, what step I didn't need, or whatever it may be. I've always realized that, I always do that. So I realized on her right hand, the first star that you saw, I could have done the stars in a better place. I like the placement on this middle finger a lot better. The other one is just a little too straight down for me, but you live and you learn, you just have to, as I told you, like I said before, at some point you just have to keep going. So I just finished up doing the stars, and I do 3 on each hand. And by the way, the type of polish that I used wasn't polish. I used gel paints. Sometimes I use gel paints as my colors. I don't really see a lot of people doing that, but I feel like that's okay because this stays just fine, and you just top coat it and it's perfectly fine. The trick is to find the right brush, and sometimes the kits or some gel paints come with a brush. And so the trick is to find a brush so there's no bald spots, or I forgot what it's called, but you know, like little pools, like where when you're painting it on and there's no empty spots. I don't know if that makes sense, or like it's not opaque. It's not all like opaque as a polish would be. So I'm out of focus here again, but I'm just top coating. I'm just top coating everything. And like I said, I wish my placement on the stars on this hand was better, but at some point you just gotta move on. So I'm just top coating all her nails, and I cure for 60 seconds. Apply cuticle oil. I think I actually showed the cuticle oil. And I always wipe off. I look at her hand and wipe off any like this right here. I just go around and wipe off any top coat that I have ran to her sidewalls. Cure for 60 seconds. Apply cuticle oil. I rub it in, and I get an alcohol wipe, and I wipe off the oil off the nail with acetone. Thanks for watching.